Welcome to Tipsverse. Today I'll discuss about how you can actually write a book in 2021. So if you're planning to write a book which you've been thinking for ages, then this video is for you. You want to be a successful author, right? But before getting the recognition and fame, you need to be a great writer. And before you write something, you need to be a great thinker. That is, you have to plan what you will write on paper, on notebook, or in a laptop. Publishing is the last hurdle which a novice author should not focus on before writing a book. Every author's dream is to get the publishing contract by big publishing companies, but rarely they think of their writing content quality. So here I'm listing the following steps on how to actually write a book in 2021. Number 1. Know your genre. Not everyone is expert in all genres. It's difficult for one to be expert in all genres: fiction, fantasy, non-fiction writing, memoir, biography. Before writing the story, know your genre you are comfortable with and have mastery over your genre. Suppose you want to be a fiction writer, you need to have that kind of imagination powers and concepts related to fantasy world building to write a fiction story which can set you apart from other authors writing in the same genre. At the same time, you can also look for your target audience. Just don't jump into writing. Thus, knowing your audience with the help of your genre can be a game changer during your marketing and promotions of your book. Number 2. Planning. Planning is very necessary before you write a book. You must set a goal that you will write a book and complete it by 3 months maximum. For example, if you want to write a novel, know your word count very well. 35,000 to 90,000 words on average for a novel. Epic novel, 100,000 words plus. And if it's a novella, 15,000 to 30k words. So accordingly plan your action, whether you want to write a novel or novella or epic novel, and how long will it take to complete. Proper planning the writing process, sticking to discipline and finishing the first draft before an estimated date should be the goal of any author. Once you start writing, you will see that there will be so much distractions, hurdles coming down the way. Basically, the momentum of writing will not be the same every day. Some days you will not feel like writing, and some days you will write several chapters with full momentum. The reason is that we humans can't have motivation to write every time. You may be working full-time, part-time, you may be a busy mom, but your determination is always there to become the author you have always dreamt of. Thus, your writing goal and target should not be over-ambitious. For example, within a week, you are targeting to complete your first draft of your manuscript. That's quite a difficult task to achieve. What I suggest, try giving some time to your creative brainstorm process. You need to give time to your creativity if you are a fiction writer. Fiction author writes through imagination, and the creative juice just don't come to your head easily. You gotta brainstorm, get immersed in your land of writing thoughts, and then you can pen down those thoughts on paper. Just make a basic plan like writing minimum 500 words every day. But if your creative juices are not flowing in any random day, then just don't write. Thus, taking into account, in a week, you may be productive for 5 days. In terms of your writing goals, 2 days unproductive. That's absolutely fine. If you maintain the ratio of 5:2, like 5 productive days and 2 unproductive days, it's absolutely fine. And you can maintain a draft where you keep track of your novel status. For example, how many chapters you've covered so far, how many chapters you are planning to add, and what will be the tentative deadline to finish your first draft. Number 3. This is probably one of the biggest criteria to start writing. That is the title. The title of your book must be very appealing. Think of such a title that has never been heard before, or use a catchy term, catchy name or phrase to define your story title. Spend more time in thinking the title, as this is the single most important thing that will sell. Imagine you enter a bookstore, and when you look at a book, the first thing which catches your attention is the headline. That is the title of the book. If the title appeals to you, you are tempted to have the book and go through inside the book. Buying or selling doesn't come into question. The first thing is that readers will definitely take a sneak peek of your book if you have a catchy headline. Number 4. Plotline. The most important thing in writing a book is plotline. Take your time in drafting the plotline. Don't just jump into writing chapters. First, define your plotline in your mind and write it down in a paper. Basically, you need to define the exposition, the story setup, where exactly the story is starting. Is it happening in a beauty parlor? Or is it happening in some museum? Or is it happening in some unknown island? There can be 1,000 ways you can define the exposition of your story. Then how the story builds up, and most importantly, you have to think of a clear ending of your story. You need to have the overall story blurb in a succinct manner. Number 5. Write one chapter daily. No matter how much busy you are throughout your day, try to write one chapter at least to keep you in track of your story. I know it's tough. If you're a working professional aspiring to be an author, it's tough. But if you want to achieve something in life, then definitely you need to push yourself even though you have less energy to deliver. Thus, even after a hectic day in office, I suggest take 1 hour of your time, and I'm pretty sure you should definitely have 30 minutes to 1 hour of your time, and you can pen down a chapter and really feel good once you are done with one chapter, because you have done a creative stuff within the span of 1 hour. And if you are doing that daily and staying consistent, you should be proud of yourself. Number 6. Define your characters. Once you have drafted your plot line, you must now pen down those characters, whatever you have in your plot line. Protagonist, mythical creatures, antagonist, places. So take your time in naming your characters. Names are very important in defining the characters. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter got the world fame mostly because of the mind-blowing fictional character names. So writing great names can serve a boost to your audience and can help you increase your book sales. Number 7. Prepare a list of idiomatic phrases and hook words. This is the part where most authors forget to notice or forget to pen down. I suggest make a list of idiomatic phrases, metaphors, which you will be frequently using in course of writing the novel. These small stuffs spice up your writing skills. You never know. People get bored when you are using the same adjectives over and over. So make sure to use these jargons, use these idiomatic phrases in your writing. And your writing will reach a new level and your readers will be glued to your book for sure. Number 8. Revision. Revision should be done diligently. You must revise each and every word of your draft multiple times. It is certain that you will have several changes to your story. There can be spelling mistakes, omitted words, and maybe some conceptual changes required. Once you are done with the revision, get a proofreader to read your story. I know to get a proofreader, you got to spend some money. If you are unable to afford the proofreading, simply ask a close friend who can read your entire novel and point out if any changes need to be made. Some word of advice here: you should not ask any random friend. Ask your best friend or your siblings or parents if they are book lovers. If nobody is willing to give any time, just read it yourself. As this is your book, you gotta read yourself and feel confident about your book. Number 9. Submission. Once you are ready with your manuscript, you are good to approach a publisher or literary agent. Keep submitting your manuscripts to publishers. Before submitting, always read the guidelines of the publishers from their website. They may require a query letter or a synopsis of your book. Prepare the best synopsis and also sample excerpts of your book. I suggest keep everything ready before sending email to the publisher. If they ask you to send the whole manuscript, then only send. Otherwise, only the synopsis and sample chapters from your book is sufficient. Never feel disheartened or demotivated if your query letter and the first draft of your manuscript are not accepted by any publisher. Remember, almost 99% new authors fail to get noticed by their first draft. So relax and keep on submitting. One important tip here: never submit manuscript to multiple publishers simultaneously. If a publisher rejects your draft, only then move on to the next publisher. Thus, the biggest challenge is holding your patience. Have faith on your work and keep on submitting till you receive an acceptance email from a publisher. Thus, focus on your writing and you will be rewarded if you have the vision and patience. Finally, you need to bear in mind that not everyone may like your story, but you must definitely like your story before commencing on publishing your book. After all, it's your story. You gotta be confident, and also you need to believe in your story, and that can give you success and readership. So if you like my video, don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the like button. See you in the next video.